Everyone, you're probably wondering why I have this video up. It's because I watched the Dream video today, and holy fuck, it is so awful. Let me explain a little bit of context first. So there's a lot of Dream SMP, like Tommy in it, Dream drama happening on Twitter right now. Y'all have probably heard of it. If not, long story short, Dream called Tommy in it fans the slur. Then a lot of other shit came out as a result. I'm going to be talking about, there's a lot of it's talked about in the video, and I'm going to address a lot of it. Let's get into this video. We have a guest star, actually. One and only Twitter user, @bubvy_. Say hello.
Hi, I was dragged into this VC and I haven't been allowed to leave. I miss my family.
You were, okay, no. All right, let's get this started. All right, Dream. I'm sorry, but not to Tommy in it. Let's go over how awful this is. Let's start this
video yesterday that was titled Dream, where he said a lot of stuff about me that isn't true, but he did correctly criticize me for something that I want to apologize for before I respond to the rest of his video. I posted a meme on Twitter that used the R word, and I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, genuinely. I think it's important to acknowledge right off the bat that that's not right. That's not.
So, first thing, already wrong on this regard, because as of this post, he showed that he thought he was allowed to say the word. He posted on Reddit why he thought he would be allowed to say the R slur. That wasn't him being genuine. That wasn't him being like, right off the bat, I want to say that I was wrong for this. And he even talked about that on a 3-hour live stream.
I'm still to this day, but I have, after watching what Tubbo said later, I'm less confused, honestly. But I genuinely, after I was getting shit on for using this word, was confused. Because the same people that are literally in my replies getting mad at me for using the word, had in the past said, hey, Dream, you can't critique Nicholas Cantor for doing this because he's neurotypical, because he's neurodivergent, because of this and that. Now,
not how you should behave. I shouldn't have done it, period. Now I want to talk about Tommy's video and why I was angry enough to post something so stupid. Comments made about me, it was one of the hardest times of my life, and you and your friends decided that after I went through the hell of debunking them, that you would continue to spread, joke about, and support these lies. Don't believe.
So you're trying to say that they support and spread the lies when really they just joked about them in the first place?
Believe me that you've been doing this. Let's just hear your own.
Not saying that joking about it is good, but
yeah, not saying that joking about it is good, but you're absolutely saying that it's worse than it actually was.
Joking about it, like the jokes should be like done at this point, and they're like long since overused. But at the same time, that's not what the video should be about.
Yeah,
it doesn't give you an excuse to like.
Doesn't give you an excuse to say the R slur.
People the R slur.
One best friend confirmed that this has been happening. I
get why he might be mad about the lies. That group being like, he's a pedophile all the time, which again, I don't like. I think we shouldn't joke about people being pedophiles unless we actually know for sure. Because, dude, the Brighton lot.
So, this is out of context, first of all. I say it's out of context because Tubbo, while he is criticizing Tommy and his friends for making these jokes and saying these jokes and is 100% agreeing with the idea that they shouldn't be making these jokes, this is still a very heavy criticism of Dream as well. Actually watch the whole stream, you realize that Tubbo's like, hey, kind of, they shouldn't have done that, but at the same time, kind of doesn't matter when you say a slur. You're cherry picking evidence, and it's so blatantly obvious.
Stop throwing out.
And also, this is insane. This is Tubbo, Tommy's best friend. That's insane. People know who Tubbo is. This is an insane thing to put here.
Who doesn't know who Tubbo is?
And you're framing this as if Tommy's best friend doesn't have his back, which is just so blatantly false, because Tubbo absolutely has Tommy's back. It's so blatantly obvious how you're cherry picking here.
Strays and calling people pedophiles just for cheap laughs.
As you guys know, I made a video debunking those allegations, and after my video, the accusers even came forward and admitted that they were not true. I thought.
So we've proven without a doubt, well, there's always going to be doubt. People can choose to believe the facts or not. It is what it is. It doesn't necessarily mean they're right about believing the facts or not. that is what it is. Some people can just be stupid and choose not to believe the facts.
That would
Good
be the
job.
end of it. But for some reason, you and your friend group thought that you would kick me while I was down.
Making jokes and like bantering about it, sure. This is a personal opinion, Art. This is a personal opinion. This is not me using facts and logic to debunk what Dream is saying, because obviously this is an opinion of him feeling that they were kicking him while he was down. That's fucking horseshit, man. Like, you could have chosen to just completely ignore Tommy, like he's been doing to you this past year and a half, and just doing other things. Like, exactly. It's so easy to ignore people on the internet. I don't think you understand how easy it is. You want to know what it is? You don't watch the videos, and you hit the block button on twitter.com. Kind of that easy. I know.
I only think
Whatever.
the friend group needs to stop calling Dream a fucking pedophile for cheap laughs. It's stupid
Yeah.
to repeatedly call Dream a pedophile when it's not the case.
In your
Yeah,
stream,
sure. Good job.
you slagged off a lot of my pals. Come on, mate. I mean, my friends are all idiots, but they have bloody good hearts.
Like, yeah, I know you're upset because they call you pedos, but they've got big hearts.
And you and your friends' references and the way you talk about women behind the scenes has been so sexist too. Shame on you guys.
I don't even know what this is about. You don't.
Pause.
This is
Let's pull up
mine and
Ludwig.
This is mine and Bubby's favorite part because of how certifiably 100% false it is. Because
Yo,
Dream's trying to
Ludwig.
pass it off as if there's no evidence or no context to this. In editing, I'm going to post a little bit of a clip from Ludwig about what he said about the conversation that he mentions in his 3-hour live stream. So, quick summary of what Dream says in the live stream. He says that he talks about how Ludwig doesn't like him because Ludwig talks about how one of his friends told him that Dream called her a whore. Don't know why he really brought it up in the stream in the first place, but now it's coming up to bite him in the ass as I play the clip right here.
And I kept this to myself. I've never brought this up publicly. I feel fine bringing it up publicly now because Dream brought it up. Dream, after I said this, sent me back like 5 pages worth of information about the situation, defending himself, messages from the person he called a whore, and explaining the situation, right? All of those messages were about a different girl. I never answered him.
Kind of insane, isn't it? How Dream told on himself that he's called multiple women whores.
Context or evidence to what you're saying. Tom,
Yeah, 'cause he
your
didn't need
racist
to.
behavior behind the scenes is unacceptable. You are a racist behind the scenes, and it's unacceptable. Shame on you. You're mad.
So, Dream does this thing where he tends to go over dramatic or like try to repeat how he's interpreting a situation and put his own spin on it to try to make it seem how ridiculous it is. I'm just going to play a clip from his live stream of him doing just that. And I'll let you guys form your own opinions about that.
All my evil plan! It's come together! All of the members on the Dream SMP are under NDA! And they have been for years! And I've been siphoning every dollar they've made!
That I criticized your friends in a 3-hour-long live stream with screenshots and receipts of their not so good behavior, so you just make stuff up about my friends? I mean, you didn't have a problem interviewing Sapnap in one of your videos recently?
Sapnap! Well, Sapnap, you see, today I'm no longer Tommy in it, famed Minecraft YouTuber. I'm actually Professor Respect. Okay, well, it's good to see you.
Oh, and you tried to interview George, but he walked away because he didn't want to be in your video. So there's 2 options.
Okay. So if Sapnap didn't want to be there, just quick... Hey, Bubby, quick question. If Sapnap really didn't want to be there to be interviewed by Tommy, why didn't he do what George did and just walked away?
That's a really good question.
I wonder.
Like,
I wonder. Crazy question. So...
Either 1, they're not bad people, or 2, you don't care enough to not profit off of them. Like you'll be...
Oh boy, here we go. I'm
He's
just gonna let
best
this
friends
play
with
out.
Logan Paul in private, but then the second it becomes beneficial for people to think that you don't like him, then all of a sudden you have a problem with all those shitty things that he's done.
He has booked a
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that as it pertains to Logan Paul, since that's the example that he brought up. So, with the Logan Paul situation, Tommy was texting Logan Paul from what we see in text messages sometime in 2023 to August of 2024. He started having an issue with Logan on August 4th, 2024. The last text we see between them is in August, where they still seem somewhat positive. It's almost like two people can have a falling out over something that one of them does between a 2-month period where we're shown, or between a 2-month period where we're not shown them communicating at all. And it's almost like Tommy didn't like that Logan Paul advertised Prime in a section of a YouTube video called The Gaza Conflict. In 3 minutes of this video,
another
jeez.
flight to Japan. 4 years ago, you were awful to me. When I was 16, you gave me YouTube advice, and you held that over my head for years.
I gave you YouTube advice because I thought that you were extremely talented, hardworking, and you had a big dream to be a YouTuber. And that's why with no expectations, we called for hours a day talking about YouTube, strategies, and ideas. And I never held this over your head. Most people...
Little bit of a nitpick, admittedly. If he wanted to say that he never held it over his head, one, we're gonna show up the classic Twitter thread, of course, that everyone knows about. You'd think someone who's been in so many controversies in the past would have a better idea on how to phrase things. But I guess he's more used to saying things in the heat of the moment, like he did with the speedrunning scandal, what he did with Quackity, and now, this time, because he's just so overcome with rage that he can't possibly think of what he's supposed to say, and how he just flies off the seat of his pants and doesn't actually think properly before he speaks.
People hearing that I helped you at all are probably hearing this for the first time.
Dream's awesome. He should, like, probably for the past, 8 months, once a week, me and Dream will have, a 2-hour call. And he
That is clearly from a time around late 2020, early 2021, if I had to guess. Because, one, he's playing on a public Minecraft server. 2, he's still at his old house. And 3, he doesn't have his braces on. So it's probably somewhere around that time frame. If I'm a little off, I apologize. This is during the time where he's in the thick of it and conversing with Dream. Do you really think he's going to go out of his way and say something negative about someone he talks to, according to Tommy, on a weekly basis?
And he just helps me.
Like, Tommy, there's no way that you actually believe this. Saying
Oh boy, where to even start with this statement? So, but Tommy still does genuinely believe that Dream is a shit person, which we can kind of clearly conclude by this point. This is the most gaslighting statement I have ever read in my life. Oh my god. The way that how you're feeling is actually what you're feeling, you're just saying that. You can't possibly believe that I was a bad person when I was going out of my way to help you grow on YouTube. You can't believe that because I'm never the bad person. I'm the victim here. That's what this reads off as.
so terrible to you with no examples or anything. Like, if you don't think that my intention was to help you, then what was my intention? Why did I?
Just on a personal opinion, flag here. I have an issue with the way he's phrasing this because he's so opening up the door for Tommy to say anything here. Like, what was the point? Why did I do that then? Like, Tommy can just say, because you were an asshole who wanted to manipulate me. That was the point. Like, that...
Why did I do all of that?
The Dream SMP, a lot of your success just wouldn't have happened without me.
That egotistical sentiment is exactly what you're accusing me of. I think
You know, I'll let this...
that the
you
Dream
know,
SMP would
I'll
have not
let
been
this
what it
finish, I'll let
was
this
without
finish.
any of the creators that were on it. Everyone, including you, made it what it was. And I said that on stream the other day.
I'm not just saying.
Okay, let's address this for a second. And let's be 100% wholly honest with ourselves. The Dream SMP would not have taken off without Tommy in it. My first time ever seeing the Dream SMP in any regard, any statement, was in Tommy's video about the disc war, when he and Tubbo initially fought Dream for the discs. That is the first experience I have with the Dream SMP. And that's what a lot of people's first experiences were. Because that's kind of what started the takeoff of people watching the Dream SMP. They saw him fighting Dream, and winning, might I add, that he single-handedly started the huge upturn. Now,
the way I got invested in the Dream SMP as a whole was because of like fan artists and stuff like that, and I wanted to make my own. And like, you can't have a story without conflict, and Tommy brought it. And like downplaying that by being like, well, no, it was everybody. Like, not saying that everybody didn't have a hand in it and people didn't put their like
because everyone
put
did kind of
their creativity towards it. Like, not
they're
saying that they weren't a big part of it, but like Tommy drove it. It's why so many people say that he was the main character, is because he was the one pushing things to continue.
Dream started the SMP, which was a server hosted by Bad Boy Halo, by the way. Sure, he may have started it, but it didn't become a true thing. It didn't have its own identity until Tommy got there.
Selling USB baby photos or lazily designed merchandise, all right? I'm doing the best with what I have.
Tommy, you say that like it's a slight on me, when my entire merch brand was built by my family, in my hometown. Like, the reason there was ever a USB flash drive sold that had pictures of me on it was because it was my mom's idea. And Tommy...
I'm sorry. Like, maybe this is just the way I've interpreted the words on this, but it really is just feeling like he's taking the criticism of the USB like bracelet things and blaming his mom for it. We're at half an hour already. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
All right, let's keep going.
But with neon.
All the designers are local people working with my local family business.
I don't
and
realize
this also
why
let
he's
me make
showing
sure
this.
that all of my fans
Like,
had a good merch
I feel like he's
experience.
showing this just to be like, oh yeah, like Tommy has my merch.
Really cool.
I didn't make the most money that way, but I'm happy that I did it. Tommy went with a merch company that actually had some really cool designs, with some very hardworking child laborers to make it possible.
This is ridiculous, bro. Like, for reference, I tried to reverse image search these before the video, before like I started recording, to see if I could do this on reverse image search. I couldn't find the article in particular he was looking for. Maybe I just didn't look hard enough. But like, this is insane. This feels like stock photos that are taken from the star.com about a sweatshop, which obviously sweatshops are awful and shouldn't be a thing. Don't feel like I should have to say that, but I'm going to say that anyways. This is the people who are making Tommy's merch. Like, maybe it is. Maybe I just haven't seen the article, but I could not find any article because he doesn't link anything.
Fortunately, that company also scammed a bunch of his viewers, and multiple of his creator friends got scammed and literally never...
He shows these two things. He shows
company also scammed
estate,
a bunch of his viewers.
He shows like a real estate thing here with like home rental extension, blah, blah, blah. And he shows a rental car payment for like 25 grand and 20 grand. And his whole thing is basically, oh yeah, this company that scammed so many YouTubers also scammed Tommy, and they used sweatshops. So how about that on bad merch thing? Like, oh, they tricked an 18, 19, 20-year-old on a merch business. Ooh, how the hell should Tommy have known that his merch company was going to do this? Like, what does this prove? This doesn't prove anything.
And multiple of his creator friends got scammed and literally never got paid, and the company went bankrupt.
The biggest creators in the world are at the
Also, this poorly edited thing by Dream here is insane.
I don't know if I should talk about it.
Let's move on.
Some have been defrauded, others are associated, and most are plain embarrassed.
This is actually true and was investigated by CoffeeZilla.
Yeah, we know. And it's insane because Tommy is a victim. The defraudee.
Unfortunately, after the false allegations that Tommy perpetuated, my family merch company did struggle. So if you'd like to support it, dream.shop.
I don't remember this from my first watch through. What?
Dude, it's in his description too.
He plugs his okay.
Like,
later
so
on,
you can't criticize Tommy for
later
any of
on
that.
he criticizes Tommy for plugging his stuff at the end of his video. Here he is plugging his merch right in the middle of his video.
Difference between me and you. I put effort, my absolute best, into all these new things. I'm gonna talk about my brilliant podcast because I'm really proud of it. Or the book I spent months writing.
Tommy essentially belittles what I do, saying that what he does with his podcast and book are somehow more valuable or important than the videos that I make, which I think is just a little sad.
Sure, whatever.
With my friends, that's what I've always done. And I'm a coder, and I code cool new Minecraft mods and make everything for my channels by myself. Like, I edit my own videos. I'm sure Tommy can knock out videos pretty quick because at one point he had a literal editor sweatshop.
From 2021, by the way.
Where his editors made less
than by the way,
still a minor at the time.
I would also like to mention that the those people in and of itself came out and are talking about the fact that that's just wrong.
This can't be conclusive evidence because there's so much doubt surrounding this just on this fundamental level. And
minimum wage, and we're also getting fans to edit the videos for free for them.
These don't even have profiles linked to them, no credibility to them, there's no profile associated with them. This one, it does mention Tommy in this. Yeah, I mentioned thinking, by the way, about doing that, like getting Tommy Stans to do rough cuts for him or something. This is the discussion of maybe doing it. This is a screenshot allegedly linked to this one. But again, no profile attached, so we can't say for sure. We can't know anything about it. Saying that they were connected. At best, this is such flimsy evidence.
But to each their own. Everyone has a different style of YouTube. I don't get the high and mighty. Like, it's not just in this video. Like, recently Tommy's been emboldened that he is the savior of YouTube or something.
Down the street and I thought to myself, oh man, this internet ain't so well.
But then...
Okay. So he says Tommy is acting like the savior of YouTube. And then he shows a clip of Tommy saying that the internet sucks.
I don't even know what... Just listen to this.
You harassed my mum as she was going through a divorce. The worst time of her life. You are like a proper movie villain.
Okay, guys, I'm going to reveal to you this harassment. The proper movie villain harassing of Tommy's mom that I did. Before I show you, just picture in your mind the harassment. Here it comes.
First, let's talk about the legal definition of the word harassment. Then we'll also bring up the Google definition of the word harassment. I'm going to put those up on screen. You read them? It's almost like none of these definitions of harassment mention that an incident has to occur more than once. Almost like it just says that an incident needs to happen that causes intimidation of some kind. Or he admits himself that he gave this first DM to Tommy's mother because he wanted to let her know his opinion on.
This one message is the only contact that I have ever had with Tommy's mom.
Still doesn't matter. Harassment doesn't need to occur on more than one occasion. Literally.
Harassed my mum. Proper movie villain.
This message starts with, just thought
I'm not even going to let him finish here because he only goes through this part of his text. Why would you DM Tommy's mom? Like that's so weird. Like if I DM'd Bubby's mom, she'd probably kill me.
I would.
But if I DM'd her dad though,
no, stay away from my all seriousness. Messaging someone's parents, especially someone who you are not on speaking terms in general, is just inappropriate in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah, at best, it is grossly negligent. At worst, he is using this to get to Tommy. Like, there's no other way about it.
I'll let you know that I don't agree with lots of people replying to you, and I don't want you to be attacked at all.
You harassed my mum.
And the context to this is that Tommy's mom was arguing with Dream fans on Twitter about Tommy making fun of my stutter in a video. Some of my fans were...
I want this to end.
I sent her this
Let's just
singular message on Twitter, letting
Still
her
doesn't
know
matter.
that I
Harassment
didn't
doesn't
agree
require
with my
multiple
fans that Tommy's portrayal of my stutter was ableist, but also letting her know that I didn't like the rest of the video because it was causing additional harassment for me that I was already getting because this was at the peak of the allegations. And Tommy, of course, didn't show any evidence for any of this stuff because it makes it...
He cannot say that when he talks about so many conversations he had with people in his stream, yet did not show any screenshots showing that he had these conversations for. Like, he did that with Harry, he did that with Jack, he did that with Tubbo, he did that with Tommy. and he did that with Ludwig. There may be some more that I'm forgetting, but he did that with
He's
all
very
5 of
picky
those.
and choosy about it. He's
Like,
very picky and choosy when it comes to providing evidence for things.
It look ridiculous if he did. Like, he literally says that I'm a cartoon villain for this DM.
You are like a proper movie villain.
Like, this is the Dream SMP chapter 2, and I've escaped the prison. Like, the way he words.
Him using the Dream SMP here is so stupid.
Spammed his mom's phone for weeks with slurs and threats. And Tommy.
That's not the definition. That's not the definition.
Not
of
the
harassment.
definition of harassment. You know,
Keeps bringing up the fact that he was 16 and 17. I mean, I was 20 and 21. I didn't treat you like a kid. I treated you like you were my friend.
You should have treated him like a child.
He was.
He was a child. He was 16 years old.
Also,
you were 21. That is a 5-year difference. You were an adult who could drink alcohol. He was a child. He was 16 years old. He was not.
No matter what, he is still the adult, and Tommy is still a child, and like.
That's just how it is. Sorry that you clearly don't understand that, but.
Because I did treat you like an equal. But you'd think, based on what you're saying, that you were 12 and that I was some evil overlord creator helping you out with advice.
Everything else about my channel, you can thank Dream for. Oh, Dream's such a...
I didn't really bring this up earlier, mostly because I just didn't think about it until now, but people can retroactively identify that, hey, maybe this thing that I thought was a good thing wasn't a good thing. Maybe I'm just now realizing that the things that they were doing weren't good. And it's a thing that happens all the time, especially for people with experiences when they were kids. Assume, oh, because he felt this way in the past, he must not feel this way now. That's so unbearably naive. Like, at the very least, you're being grossly negligent once again.
Like a good guy, man. I feel bad because in 2020 I gave him so much shit always. It was like my, you know, in the friend group, the guy that you make fun of a bit too much. That was Dream. And I was just always taking the piss.
I mean, the truth is, you don't care enough that I used that word to make this video.
Him using this tweet is so weird. Why? Like,
video, especially because you know my own personal struggles. You realize.
And also, what does that even mean? You know my own personal struggles? Like, is he referring to Dream having autism here? Because, like, what?
Realize that it's something that you can use against me to promote your channel and all of the things that you literally promoted for almost a minute.
This point's invalid because you plugged your merch earlier. Just
at the end of your video. And I mean, you talk about how terrible of a person I am while leaving up videos with my sister and mom.
Dream's mom and sister are not Dream.
Lying and exaggerating about me, harassing your mom, and bringing up her divorce that I didn't even know about and have nothing.
Tommy's not saying that you knew about the divorce. He's saying that you harassed his mother when she was in the process of getting divorced. He's not saying that you knew. He's just saying that that's what you did. Like,
thing to do with. But Tommy, I'm not going to suggest that you go to therapy like you did to me.
You need to.
Okay, pause. There is nothing wrong with going to therapy, and I don't like the way he phrased that in the sense that it's like something to be ashamed of or bad.
I believe that everyone should go to therapy. Even if they're the most mentally sound individual, everyone should go to therapy.
Internet now. Go and get some therapy.
Because you feel strongly enough to make an entire dedicated video on your channel hating on me, you could take down every video of yours that I'm in, and I'll take down every video of mine that you're in.
Just because he doesn't like you anymore doesn't mean he wants to erase a core part of his YouTube channel from 4 years ago. Because
backbone, you wouldn't want to show support to such a no good person. And Tommy,
ignoring what I said earlier, even if we agree with the idea that Tommy's a drama hungry YouTuber who just wants to get in on all the drama, and that he doesn't have a spine because he just finds it profitable to hate on people. Do you realize how big of balls you have to come after Dream with his stands and everything? There's a reason his stands have the reputation they have.
You mentioned being proud of yourself. I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of everything that you've accomplished, but you don't need to put other.
Oh my fucking god.
Just put up the tweet that started all this.
I'm just gonna put up the tweet, I'm just gonna end the video here.